station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
AMP2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on AMP2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to come into your homes, your cars, your places of business to tell you about a wonderful technology. And welcome to Tell Us Your Biz. My name is Abdul Rahim. I'm one of the members of JAM Medical, and we are representative of a larger biotech company out of Arizona. And we're going to be speaking to you about a cutting-edge technology that's going to be revolutionizing the wound care industry. And my partner, Momina, she's going to also share some information. So we'd like to just open the airways as well. You can give us a call at 888-565-1470. And again, we're going to be speaking to you about a cutting-edge technology that's going to be utilized tremendously within the wound care industry, and it is called My Own Skin. Momina, tell us a little bit about My Own Skin.
So yeah, we'd like to have allow everyone to basically get a hold of this information and knowledge. Mm-hmm. We have a product, and it's called My Own Skin. And the reason for that name is we take your own skin, which is usually about the size of a pencil head eraser. Mm-hmm. Doctors will take a little clip or a little biopsy of it, usually from behind the ear.
Okay.
Along with 2 vials of your own blood.
Awesome.
And then we can grow within 5 to 7 days up to 3 4x4 inches of your own skin.
The patient's own skin?
The patient's own skin.
Really?
So I'm not sure if people are aware of how they do these partial thickness skin grafts these days.
Uh-huh.
Or actually, the standard of care is they will take skin from an area of your body, usually maybe the abdomen or the thigh, and that alone is kind of painful and creates a scar on its own. So
Yes.
now you don't have one wound, one scar, now you
Now
have
you get to
2.
deal with 2.
And then they mix it up with a bunch of either proteins or chemicals, and they apply it to your skin. Mm-hmm. And it's never quite the same because it's not natural. It's not like the My Own Skin is all natural. It's your blood. It's your plasma-rich proteins. It helps decrease any scar, fibrous tissue, increases the blood vessel growth to heal that wound, and it does it in a much quicker time.
Gotcha. I heard, I was speaking to someone, they was telling us about other skin replacements, and I heard that they had some issues because some of it is some of it is manufactured with animal products. Have you any?
Yeah, so some of them are manufactured with pig proteins, has a very bad smell. Mm-hmm. Some of them, are manufactured with skin tilapia. So these can cause rejection rates or higher. Bacteria is another issue.
Gotcha. With My Own Skin, it seems to have quite a wide range in terms of its indication. What are you going to be targeting? What area primarily? Is it hospitals, surgery centers? What is the target market?
So the target market for My Own Skin are hospitals, patients with decubitus ulcers, deep ulcers, anything that requires partial thickness skin graft within 2 millimeters of skin, mastectomies. So the oncology world, plastic surgery world. Yes. Patients with mastectomies, that have their breasts removed, they usually have a big scar underneath their underarm area. Okay. And that tends to take a very long time to heal, about 3 or 4 months, and that's
Really?
a minimum. Yeah, that would probably be good healing time. So with the My Own Skin, we can grow up, your own skin to cover that area, and the healing time is a lot quicker.
So it can reduce the healing time.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay. I had a couple friends of mine, actually, their relatives that had issues with diabetic ulcers, particularly in their feet. Would something like this be utilized for that?
Yes, absolutely. So with diabetic ulcers, the problem is that they don't have any blood circulation around that wound area. And so the Myone Skin comes with amniotic fluid.
Okay.
Amniotic fluid from pre-scheduled C-sections, young women, and they are screened for all the diseases.
Gotcha.
And they even have a psych evaluation after they give the fluid.
Okay.
So once it's harvested, and then it comes with the Myone Skin, depending on how much the doctor orders, and we inject that, and it decreases pain, decreases the inflammation. It starts to break down any scar or fibrous tissue, which is usually accumulated in that area. And then it starts to increase that blood vessel growth. We call it angiogenesis. And then what it does, it starts to repair that tissue
Okay.
and rejuvenate.
Now, I've heard the term autologous in terms of my own skin. What does that actually mean?
So autologous actually means the donor and the recipient are the same.
Okay.
So the chance of rejection is very, very minimal.
Gotcha.
Because it's your own blood, you don't have diseases, you know what's going on in your body, and it's your own body's blood and skin.
Perfect. Now, you mentioned the amniotic fluid. So it's like a conjunctive therapy. The My Own Skin forms more like actually for the skin itself, and then the amniotic fluid helps with the healing process, with the soft tissue.
Yes, it helps with the healing process to repair any kind of soft tissue damage. We use it also in the orthopedic world for pain, osteoarthritis, conditions like for any kind of soft tissue repair.
Does it assist like with inflammation?
Oh yeah. So so actually the first thing that it does is start to decrease that pain and inflammation, which many patients start to feel within a day or two.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that they can go out and start running and
Gotcha.
but
Perfect. Now, in terms of going back to like the diabetic ulcers, there's also some other patients that we have talked to had extended stays in the hospital. Therefore, they were kind of bedridden, and they sustained body sores, I should say. So, with something like
so if you you have a patient who gets into a car accident and they're paralyzed, and usually they're in bed and they start to get these sores because they're immobile. The My Own Skin actually is made with it has very strong tensile strength.
Okay.
Which means that you can cut it, you can suture it, you can glue it. Doctors use it just as they would partial thickness skin graft. So
Gotcha.
it's very strong. And so it would hang on to those areas.
Okay. The this particular product, it's a sterile product?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. And if just say a surgery center, I had another question that someone had asked me to bring up in terms of burn victims. How would this apply to a burn victim?
Yeah, so burn victims usually, once they come into the trauma center, they are debrided, which means they clean out any infection or any kind of debris in that wound.
Okay.
And that gives us enough time to grow the My Own Skin, which is usually grown within about 4 days. And then we ship it overnight to the trauma center.
Oh, so you sent it back there, so they
We
order
send
it.
it back there, and if they need more, then we would just take more samples and more blood,
Okay.
depending on the surface area that is being treated.
Oh, that's pretty amazing. Now, some of the other doctors that I spoke with were asking about reimbursement, particularly with the My Own Skin. Do you have any information in terms of if the product is going to be covered like for insurance or CMS, or is it going to be treated like a regular graft?
So I think right now they do treat it like a regular graft, and they have what's called DRG codes
Okay.
or DGR codes. I forget. I'm not really too much with the billing. Have that much knowledge about it. However, it is part of the whole surgical procedure. So it's fairly inexpensive compared to the other grafts out there right now. Next year, prices will be going up because it's going to have its own code in 2020. It's FDA approved procedure. The product is FDA regulated under very, very strict FDA
Perfect. Now, when
protocols.
you say that it takes 5 to 7 days to actually grow the skin. Where is it actually grown? Is it here in Florida or?
No, so it's in a lab in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay.
A manufacturer called BioLab Sciences who manufactures it. And it actually takes about 4 days to actually grow the full skin, and then with the shipping overnight.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And they're located in Arizona?
Scottsdale, Arizona,
Okay,
yes.
Arizona. Okay. So, and they are part of your company, or we represent them?
We represent them.
Okay.
We work with them to.
Awesome. So the use of the My Own Skin in terms of cancer, how would that apply, or would that be
Yeah,
an
so-
indication there?
Yeah, so patients that have, or cancer patients, since it does come with the amniotic fluid, the manufacturer does not see an issue with that. However, physicians might have an issue. It is generally contraindicated in cancer patients
Oh, typically,
because,
okay.
yeah, the amniotic fluid, not the My Own Skin.
Yes.
So you would use the My Own Skin, you just would not use the amniotic fluid that comes with it because the amniotic fluid can start and it will start to increase blood vessel growth. And usually in cancer, that blood vessel growth is out of control. So we don't want to take any chances. It depends on the doctor. Their patient, they might say, you know what, I want you to be in remission for 5 years or 10 years before we can do that, depending on, the patient's situation.
Oh, in terms of the My Own Skin, is there an age limit, or can it be
No,
applied
so
to?
actually we can use it on newborns. That's the best part about it. Yep.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sometimes newborns are born with congenital sores or infection, infections that happen in the mom's wound. And yes, we can certainly do that procedure on the newborns, and it's actually very practical.
That is
'cause it doesn't
amazing.
require any kind of pain.
Oh, that's awesome. And in terms of, let's say it's larger than 3-4 by 4 inches in terms of the skin itself.
Yeah, so we would take another sample and another 2 vials of blood.
Okay.
And you don't have to order up to 3. We can just grow at one time up to 3 4x4. You can also order just 1 4x4.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And the prices range from, I believe, 1 4x4 inch is $3,000, and then 2 4x4 inch is $4,000, and then 3 4x4 inch is $5,000. Some of the traditional tilapia and the pig proteins, they're about $10,000 in cost.
Okay. And My Own Skin, is it something new to the market? Or?
Yeah, so this is a technology that is very new. It's a state of the art. No one is doing it right now. No one has been able to come out with such a wonderful, wonderful product that can help a lot of people. There are a lot of diabetics out there, and they suffer from diabetes, obviously, and that causes a lot of peripheral neuropathy, which means that their blood vessels don't function very well because of the diabetes. So they accumulate many, many wounds, and if they do get a wound, let's say they harm themselves or hit themselves on the edge of the table, that wound will take much longer time to heal than it would a normal person because there's no vascularity in that area.
I got you.
Their vessels are poor. Yeah, so this can really help a lot of people. I know that the wound care business, it's a very, very large business, and people, hospitals, for example, insurance is paying a lot of money just for patients or hospitals to maintain those wounds. And that can sometimes lead up to about $15,000 to $20,000 a year
Oh, pretty
just to
expensive.
maintain it, yeah, and not even to heal it. Amputations is another issue. So amputations, if your doctor told you, there's nothing we can do, well, certainly you should get a different opinion. I had a nurse tell me, well, this guy, he doesn't really need his leg because he's immobile anyway.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Because I was talking to her about the amniotic fluid for the wound and the My Own Skin. And she said, you know what? These people don't care. That was her interpretation. So, and I said, wow, because surgery is a surgery. Cutting off a limb, you're still going to have pain. You still
That's
have to deal
major.
with healing times. And, it's
Quality of life.
quality of life. Yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty,
God.
detrimental. You're already paralyzed, but now you don't have your leg. Whereas otherwise, you could have saved it.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. How did you actually, what's your background? How did you come into this knowledge?
So I am a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
I work in a pharmacy in Miami called Pharmco Pharmacy.
Mm-hmm.
We also work with this product down there as well, with our doctors and our hospitals down there.
Yes.
I part of also a group called JAM Medical Consultants, and we actually do a lot of different ancillaries, which means we help the medical industry, since the medical industry doesn't focus that much anymore where they used to on prevention. We're trying to find the best verticals for doctors and for hospitals and for practices to use where we could prevent some of these diseases, prevent
Absolutely.
some of these injuries that patients are having a lot of these days, and that will be very, very cost effective.
I see.
So we went and we flew out. This was one of the products. We actually went there for something else.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
we sathis My Own Skin, and we were like, wow, this is just amazing.
I'm amazed by it myself from just what I'm learning from you at this time.
And once again, our call-in line is 888-565-1470. If anyone has any questions, please, you're welcome to call in and ask.
Yeah, please do.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming, as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages, or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422. You are listening to Tell Us Your Business, where our invited guests share all the knowledge of their business and how important it is what they do in our community. If you want to be part of the conversation, call into the show at 888-565-1470 and tell us what's on your mind. Now, back to Tell Us Your Business.
Welcome back to Tell Us Your Business, and we appreciate you guys listening. Momina was actually sharing something with us, but she was about to tell us a little bit about her background and how that we could reach out to the community and be more effective with My Own Skin and assist with that.
Yes. So our goal is to really provide very good education to the patients, to the doctors, to the nurses, to the whole medical field. The medical field, it's a great opportunity for us to learn and to all work together. I always say that a pharmacist, a nutritionist, the doctor, everyone is part of the healthcare team, and the sales representative as well, the ones that bring us these innovative products.
Yes.
And the most important player on that team, in my opinion, is the patient, because we can tell the patient to do all day long. We can tell them to do whatever it is we think they should be doing, but if they don't understand the benefit and they don't understand what it is that's going to help them or why, they're most likely not going to do it. So we are looking to get into medical institutions, maybe FAU. We'll do some presentations with doctors and educate them on the benefits of providing more natural therapies to patients with less side effects
Absolutely.
and less adverse reactions.
So, we're also looking to get into some of the medical centers. I think we've met with Delray Medical Center. We have a contact that we're working with at 45th Street through the medical center there. And also, as you mentioned, FAU.
Yes, and Kendall Burn Center, we're trying to get with some of the people that are on board over there with our product.
Absolutely.
They have one of the largest, if not the largest, burn unit over there.
Yeah, because again, the My Own Skin, not only, again, does it reduce the fact that the patient would have to have a second graft site on their body, but it also, along with the amniotic fluid, it also reduces the time of healing, and it also can reduce the cost in terms of particularly preventing the patient from having to suffer like an amputation or some other catastrophic type of condition. So the My Own Skin should play a major part in wound care, and we're looking forward to bringing this on all levels, surgery centers, hospitals, burn units, trauma centers.
In South Florida, yes.
And,
they're using it now widely in Arizona out west.
Yes. Gotcha.
So we need the docs to get on board, and the wound care specialists out there, the nurses. I have to give shout out to the nurses, because the nurses out there, they are amazing. They're the ones that can tell you everything that goes on with the patient, with the wound healing. The doctor, they might do the surgery, or they might evaluate the patient. And I hear some docs, they say, all wounds will heal on their own, and usually they say in a short period of time. But that the nurses are the ones that will really
That's
tell
actually
you
got
the truth on that.
the hands on the
and
patient.
everyone heals differently. And if they're in a hospital has a lot of bacteria. If they're diabetic, they're not going to heal as well. So, it's very important for the doctors to follow up and really see the facts on the wounds, wound
A lot
care.
of infection within that area. Gotcha. Now, you mentioned, so this product, can, in terms of the application, it could be sutured and it could be stapled in terms of...
Yes, it can be stapled. It can be applied. However, it's very versatile. So however the physician decides to apply it, it can be applied. It can be glued, but they have an adhesive glue that they use. Depends on the wound and what your outcome, what you would like your outcome to be with that.
I see.
It could be stuffed into the wound and then drenched in that plasma
Yeah.
and then covered. So
Is there a time frame in terms of the age of the wound itself? Like if the wound is, let's say, 4 or 5 months old, can you still utilize the
yes,
My Own Skin?
absolutely, you can still utilize it. Yes,
So it doesn't
the
make
fresher the better.
Uh-huh.
However, but if it's still not healing, it's still not healing, so it's fresh. And then along with the amniotic fluid, even if it's a wound that's 5 years old, well, that's okay, because the amniotic fluid is going to start getting that blood flow going and start healing that wound and waking it up.
Oh, so it's going to help with the
gonna help
regrowth of the regeneration,
The regeneration,
of the soft
repair.
tissue.
Yes,
Perfect.
of the skin.
This is pretty amazing. What type of feedback, if any, have you heard from local doctors, or have you had any doctors here that have given any feedback in terms of how they perceive the product to be?
So yes, every time that we show the doctors the product, they're very, very surprised to see that there's something in the market. They're very pleased with the product. They're very interested in it because they have not seen this before. But with hospitals and administrations and policies, there has to be there's a channel that has to be gone through. And so that's why it doesn't take just one day. Well, the doctor likes us; it's on board. No, there's billing, there's insurances, and so we help with all of that.
So we find it pretty challenging, particularly in terms of the hospitals, political to get.
It's a bit challenging, yes, but not impossible. So, we're adamant we're going to get in there because our goal, once again, is to help the people. And it might have to be a patient-driven treatment.
Gotcha.
But
So let's say I'm an independent physician, I'm a podiatrist, and I want to utilize the product. How would I get in touch with you?
so how you would get in touch with me? We have a number. It's 561-563, or we can use this number 561-221-3553. That is my direct number. And I can certainly be reached at that.
Perfect.
I can be texted at that number as well and called by doctors, whoever wants to call and reach out to me for education on that product. I'm there.
So if I'm an independent doctor, again, I don't necessarily have to be a part of a surgery center or a hospital, and I should be able to order the My Own Skin for my patient. Well, actually go through the procedure to order My Own Skin for my patient.
Right, but it would have to be done in the hospital setting.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Usually it's done in the hospital setting. So it's not covered in private practice settings, only if the doctor is affiliated with a hospital.
Okay.
Is it covered, the My Own Skin? Otherwise, it's out of pocket.
Oh, really? Okay. How much time did it take?
So, no callers? We have any
Yeah, we're
callers?
pausing to see, do we had anyone call in? No callers? Okay, great.
888-565-41470. Maybe everyone's sleeping because the weather is very...
So much rain outside.
people to sleep out there.
But again, we wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to share some information on My Own Skin.
Yes.
It's a revolutionary, cutting-edge technology that's going to be utilized in the wound care industry. And we're making it available for all of South Florida. And we hope that you have an interest to give us a call. You can call us after the show at the number that Mom will share with you. An additional number is 561-889-2446. And we'll be happy to answer your questions and make sure that we put you in contact with the right parties to be able to get this product to you. Again, My Own Skin, revolutionizing the wound care industry. Thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.